Okay, moving on, clerk's report.
Well, actually, I think we've covered everything that I was going to talk about, so
Okay.
I don't have anything new.
Treasurer's report, Joe?
Just two things. We balanced with the county in our taxes, and the county notified us that they would be reimbursing us for delinquent taxes to the tune of $42,410, which is a little bit less than what we got last year back. So there hasn't been too much of a difference in delinquent taxes. The only other thing I've got is Marilyn Radke's up for review, so do we discuss that in this forum, or do we go out?
Well, we probably want to do that in full session.
Okay.
We make our decision here, but we would discuss any stuff in closed session.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Trustees report, Cindy.
Just a couple things. One, yesterday in the rain, I was on my way to church and there's 3 cars parked out here at the bike path and people getting out, going to be running in the rain on the bike path, so it's getting used even in bad weather. When we took the road trip, did you find out anything on the path from Jack?
I talked to Jack today, and they are going to boom ax that.
Okay.
They are going to boom ax it, and they're also going to broom it. They're going to try and get all those vines and stuff cleared away from the,
Okay.
it's a dangerous for people riding their bikes with poking out eyes, and I'm worried about lawsuits with people, you know. So, because around the turns, if anybody has been back there on the bike path, you know, it's a beautiful path, but after 3 years, it's kind of getting overgrown, grown in, so they're going to go in there with the boom ax, and they're going to reach up as high as they can and try to swat through there, you know, and move it back at least 5 or 6 feet, you know, all the way along and clear that out, and then they're going to come behind with the broom and broom the whole path for us. So that's the county, and that was going to be included in what we,
Okay,
you know, they were
What
going
we had approved.
to, what we had approved
Okay.
from last year's budget.
good.
Is there any plan, and I know I should probably know this, but don't, about tying in the Burtchville path to the Fort Gratiot path?
Well, I think eventually when they get their right-of-ways through Fort Gratiot, I don't know.
The
I
whole
mean,
of
I have
there,
never.
Joanne,
Is that what the whole
It's
thing is?
Detroit
That's what the
Water.
holdup.
There's
Yeah.
one little corner there, Detroit Water. That's all they
The
need.
drawings are done all the way over to
That's my.
Roosevelt or one of those.
They can't seem to
Roosevelt.
get Detroit Water to talk to them.
Roosevelt.
That's too bad,
It
because that
is.
just would be
Yeah, it would
awesome.
be ideal. if
That would be
they could.
continued on to the new park, too.
Right.
Right.
I have one other thing. Jody has the credit card. Did that start?
Training is going to be Wednesday. next
Oh,
Wednesday.
okay. Okay. That's
Okay.
it.
Al?
Just a couple things on the zoning stuff. Bill sent out a couple letters last week. I know you guys were copied on the one. I don't think you were copied on the other one, on Holbert. He's already corrected his violations, correct? He sent that out on April 10th. This one's good. That was another court deal where we
Yeah,
broke the
I
house
remember
down.
that, yeah. I drove by there to look for it, and it was good, there was nothing
Yeah,
there.
so that one's
That's already
corrected.
cleaned up?
And
We were aware of
And
it.
also, several people were questioning about the sawmill and stuff, and Bill had sent a letter, also on the 10th to Mr. Sheriff in regards to that stuff, so, I mean, he hasn't forgot it.
What's the letter say?
The sawmills are gone.
Yeah, the sawmills are gone. I mean, I can read the letter, or if you want to read it, actually, you're more welcome to.
No, just that it was a violation.
It was a violation of the circuit court, so.
District.
Yeah, it's just, no, it was in circuit court. It was a violation in circuit court. Or just,
District, we didn't go to circuit court.
No, it was a violation in district court, but I said if need be, we'd go to
We
circuit.
would
yeah,
go to
we would
circuit court.
yeah. So you're welcome to look at it after anybody wants to look at it.
When you all went to court, that was dismissed. There's no court order, it was dismissed.
Yeah,
Well,
it
we
was
never-
dismissed, but it was an agreement, dismissed with
Yeah,
the
at
idea
that
of
It
agreement.
was an
At that
agreement. It was
time.
an agreement between the
With the
two parties.
agreement.
the
Yeah,
township
at that
and
time, but
Mr.
everybody keeps saying there's a court order. There's not a court order. There was no fines paid, it was dismissed.
It was dismissed based on the agreement.
And what about a screening around the property, Bill? That's
Pardon?
another question.
That's,
Done.
There were several citations and there was an agreement. Is the agreement being enforced?
Yeah, as best we can.
As best we
they
can.
Okay, so, but are there still citations?
No.
I mean, the last couple weekends
There
were
is no
horrible.
citation.
Huh?
No, there isn't any citations. Not yet. Not to the board authorized me to do it.
Okay, but there are violations now
Where,
Yeah, and there was a letter
outside
written based on
of
this.
the boxcars,
what's there?
trucks
That's
and
private,
logs.
those are, that's private property, sir. It's private property, I'm
the
sorry.
vehicles can be parked there, in front of Louis.
Yeah.
Where the gravel is, that's his parking lot.
Or
Correct me if I'm wrong.
How about all
That's
the,
That was part of the,
how about the timber?
the timbers are not supposed to be there.
That's
The timbers are in,
And that's sawmills.
are not in agreement with the agreement that we have. There are not supposed to be any logs of any kind sitting out there, and that probably only happened for 1 or 2 weeks out of the, since the court order.
Well, I think-
Yeah, they're there now.
Still there.
Then
They're there
right
now.
Yeah, they're there right now.
There's like 4 logs sitting there.
Well,
Last weekend, there were far more. than
No,
there were.
I disagree with you,
Well,
sir. You need to come out
We'll
and
start taking
count.
pictures.
but that
That's
needs to be
fine.
done.
And make sure you do a written.
So what happens next?
Continue to,
Well, the board has to make a decision on what's gonna happen next, and, you know, I think we need to discuss that, and I think we need to proceed with another citation and get it back in the court. And, you know, and that's this is my opinion, I don't know how the board feels about it. I feel that it needs to go, the citation has to be issued, because every week it's violated. Every week there has, you know, for the last, you know, if you agree to do something, then stand by your word and keep it clean. No logs, no logs mean no logs, you know. And it's just, and now the sawmills come in, now we're cutting, now we've got an industrial business sitting out there doing business. You know, my thought is that we go ahead and take it to the next step. Because I think that is the only thing that, you know, that's going to be understood. Because every week, so, you know, and I would make a recommendation to the board that we do issue a citation and go the next step that's going to have to be done.
and I think we need to investigate screening on the other property.
Well, the other property is an entire different thing because it's not their property.
What do you mean it's
But
not
they're
their
using it.
property?
They don't own it.
They don't own the
That's
property.
Paul Murphy.
So it has to be a
Well, who
different-
owns it?
Paul Murphy.
Paul Murphy owns it.
Are they in violation?
No.
I mean, what they've done is they've just moved the
I would say
piles
yes.
from
If you're
one lot
asking
to
me
another.
personally, yes, they are in violation because they had a sawmill operating out there, you know, and they don't have a special land use. You know, at best, I would expect that they would have a special land use there, at best, you know, but it's really a commercial and industrial operation that's being run there, and it's in violation of our ordinance. You know, that's my feeling.
How do I get a copy of that ordinance that it's in violation? Do I just come up to the township hall? Because I don't think it is in violation. I don't think you have anything in writing that says you can't have a sawmill. It's a general business.
It's
That's
general
not a
business.
general business.
It's not a general business.
It's not a big sawmill.
It's not
Do you
a big
have it
It
in
doesn't matter
writing?
whether it's a big sawmill.
Do you have
or a
an
sawmill.
ordinance that states that? Do you have an ordinance that
And
states?
no, Mrs. Phil, I'm not gonna get in an argument.
Okay, I'm just asking you, where do I pick up a copy of the
I'll tell you
ordinance?
what's gonna happen, is we're gonna discuss it with the board. If the board agrees, we're gonna issue another citation, and we're gonna take it back to court, where we get a court order with some teeth in it. You know, and all he has to do is go along with the agreement and keep the stuff, keep the logs out of there, and not be running a business in a non, it's, you know.
Why is it when I want to make a verbal complaint against properties, I'm told to do a written complaint, but when Mr. Don Fletcher walks in here, there's no written complaint? All of a sudden, you guys are going to meet and take action, and right here, Bill Bosch stated that a written complaint was needed before he could take action on these properties with Mrs. Moses. Mrs. Moses did a written complaint, which she had every right to do. And I also want to thank you, Mrs. Moses, for bringing up the back
We
roads.
discussed this at the last meeting, and I don't think that we need to discuss it any further.
But you said you have to have a written complaint.
I think at one time, Mr. Fletcher did have a written report.
No, I have all of them right here. I'll bring them up to you. I asked for them all.
I don't.
There is no written complaint from
Please
Mr.
sit down.
Fletcher.
You're out of order. Thank
Okay,
you.
that's fine. There's no written complaint from him.
Thank you.
I just wanted to ask if there's any chance they put mile markers on the bike trail since we're getting fences? Or some kind of distance
I think we are
markers?
gonna put half mile.
So I know how far away. When I go.
Coming from one end to the other. So I think we are gonna do that.
Well, Al, are you finished with yours?
Yes, I just,
Okay. So we're into extended public.
Well, I
comment.
think we've been into extended public comment.
Oh, I have?
So do we close now and go into executive session?
Well, wait a minute, you see there's other extended.
Mr. Abernathy?
Yeah, I had asked to be put on the agenda about this, but Mrs. Trumbull said I could speak during the public comment. The property at Kimball Drive, I'm just curious, the guy wanted to do a used car lot there, and he doesn't have one. I'm just curious as to why he isn't allowed to do a used car lot there. Seems he wants to just change his business from one thing to another.
Bill, would you care to address that?
Yeah, he was told he could, all he had to do was apply for a special land use, and he decided to change his mind and didn't want to do it. He told me that.
Oh, you spoke to him
Oh,
personally?
yes, I did.
Oh, okay. Because I just
I gave
spoke to him 3
the
days
paperwork
ago.
I gave
and-
him the paperwork and everything, and
Yeah.
told him he could do the same thing as another person's doing for a used car lot.
Right. Okay, so he needs a special land use
Yeah,
on-
he was
on-
told that. He was
on
given
in-
everything on it. and
on the
explained it.
property?
Yeah, he decided against it.
So if he wants to do that, then he can do it now?
Well, he has to apply for a special land use, just like everyone else.
Right, and that
it's up
means
to the
going
planning
before what, the
commission to grant it.
ZBA?
No, the planning commission.
Oh, the planning commission.
Right.
Oh, okay. So there's no money involved?
Yes, there
There's money
is.
involved.
Oh, there is money involved.
$500.
he wasn't interested.
Okay. All right. Because when I spoke to him, and I just spoke to him a week ago, he said he had sent a check here for $500 to go
He
before
never-
the planning
I gave
commission.
the check back to him because he did not fill out any paperwork.
Okay, so
And I
that's the
explained to him, I said,
misunderstanding.
fill out the paperwork, and we're perfectly willing to accept the check.
Okay,
He changed his mind because the climate was not good for a used car lot, he said, and then he decided against it.
okay.
Because it all started out originally with him having forms from the state, which requires me
Right.
to approve.
Right.
And I said, I can't approve it, but I can
Without
give
the
you the
special
special
land
land
use.
use,
Okay,
which is done by the planning commission.
okay. And he can still do that though, correct?
He wants to.
Okay.
He can apply for it.
He can apply for it, right, okay. No problem there.
Thank you.
He knows that.
The cemetery ordinance, it was
That's
just
his writing.
approved?
He got several letters from me. in
Oh,
writing.
okay, all right, no problem. The amended Burtchville Township Cemetery lease. I've read the state law on that that deals with townships, and if I'm not misunderstanding it, it takes 7 years to recover a property in a cemetery. And it's not for resale, it's actually just for maintenance. I asked Mr. Tuma about that before he did this. He wanted me to do the book or footwork on it. But I'm just concerned that we've written an ordinance that's against state law. So, for what it's worth.
Well, for what it's worth, we'll take that up with our attorney. Thank you.
Okay.
Any other public comment? Hearing none, I would ask for an adjournment.
No, we gotta go. Executive.
Go into executive session.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're going to adjourn and we're going to go into executive session.
Have those windows been primed and that over in the chapel?
We're going to check on that. I didn't have a chance to check on that today, but we will.
Okay, all right.